Even though Norway's own World Cup run ended weeks ago, Erling Haaland has somehow managed to stay one of the most talked about figures of this entire tournament. And the reason has nothing to do with goals or highlights. Instead, it comes down to something far simpler: the genuine, heartfelt way he has kept showing up for the players around him. Whether that meant praising a rival for a legendary performance or comforting a close friend after heartbreak. Over the final stretch of this World Cup, Haaland's public comments about both Lionel Messi and Jude Bellingham have completely taken over American social media, with fans reacting to a side of the towering Norwegian striker that many did not expect to see this clearly on display. In this video, we are going to walk through everything Haaland has said, break down why each individual message resonated so strongly, and explore what this entire storyline reveals about him as both a competitor and a person. So let us get into it. To understand why these messages carried so much weight, you first have to understand the roller coaster Haaland himself experienced throughout the tournament. Norway reached the World Cup for the first time in 28 years, and Haaland immediately became the centerpiece of their run, scoring in bunches and dragging his country deeper into the competition than almost anyone had predicted. Along the way, he developed a habit of publicly celebrating other stars, rather than only focusing on his own performances, something that stood out, given how competitive the environment around him truly was. That habit continued even after Norway's own tournament came to an end. And it is exactly what set the stage for the two moments that ended up capturing American attention more than almost anything else in the tournament's closing stretch. Haaland's public appreciation for Lionel Messi did not appear out of nowhere. It built steadily throughout the tournament. After Messi delivered a hat-trick against Algeria, becoming the oldest player in history to score a World Cup hat-trick and reaching his 200th appearance for Argentina on the very same night, Haaland could not stop talking about what he had just witnessed, sharing his admiration on social media, even though he himself had scored twice in his own World Cup debut earlier that same day. Later in the tournament, after Messi extended his goal tally during Argentina's dramatic win over Cape Verde, a fan online suggested that Haaland would not be winning the Golden Boot this year, and Haaland simply responded with a one-word reply, agreeing without any hesitation or defensiveness. That kind of easy, good-natured acknowledgement of a rival's brilliance is rare among elite athletes, and it quickly built a reputation for Haaland as someone genuinely enjoying the tournament rather than only fixated on his own individual accolades. Before we get into how this storyline evolved after Norway's own elimination, take a second to hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed, because we are covering every major storyline heading into the final stages of this tournament. It only takes a second, and it genuinely helps the channel. Alright, let us keep going. The next chapter of this story arrived just before Argentina's semi-final showdown with England, when Haaland was asked directly which team he wanted to see advance. Rather than staying neutral, he made his allegiance clear, explaining that he wanted England to win, a stance he traced back to his own personal history, having actually been born in England while his father, former Leeds United player Erling Haaland, was still playing there. He even recalled owning an England jersey before ever having a Norway one growing up, a small personal detail that added real context to why his loyalty leaned the way it did. In that same conversation, Haaland was asked specifically about Jude Bellingham, and he did not hold back his praise, describing him as one of the best players in the world and suggesting that any club or national team would be lucky to have him. Those comments spread quickly among American fans, many of whom appreciated seeing a global superstar speak so genuinely and specifically about a teammate, rather than offering the usual guarded, diplomatic non-answer. When Argentina completed their stunning late comeback to defeat England 2-1 and advanced to the final, Bellingham was left dealing with a quiet, difficult night, finishing the match without registering a shot and struggling to make an impact against Argentina's defense. It did not take long for Haaland to respond. Taking to Instagram, he posted a short and simple message directed at his former Borussia Dortmund teammate, telling him that he had given it everything and encouraging him to move forward toward whatever came next. Bellingham responded in the comments with a handful of heart emojis, a small but telling exchange that reflected the genuine friendship between the two players. What made the moment resonate even further with American fans is that Haaland understood exactly what Bellingham was feeling, having gone through a similarly painful elimination himself only days earlier when Bellingham's own brace had helped send Norway home in the quarter-finals. Part of what makes this story so compelling is the history connecting these two players. Haaland and Bellingham first became close as teammates at Borussia Dortmund, developing a bond that has continued through transfers, Champions League battles, and now international tournaments on opposite sides of the bracket. That friendship has shown up publicly on multiple occasions over the years, from Haaland reacting to Bellingham's stunning strikes for Real Madrid with short, admiring messages, to Bellingham speaking openly about staying in touch with his former teammate, even during the busiest stretches of the football calendar. Seeing that friendship hold steady through the emotional whiplash of a World Cup, where one man's brace directly eliminated the other's country just days before that same man comforted him after his own elimination, struck many fans as a genuinely rare example of real camaraderie cutting through the ruthless competitiveness of international football. American fans reacted to this entire sequence of moments with a level of enthusiasm that surprised even seasoned soccer commentators. Social media accounts dedicated to World Cup coverage highlighted Haaland's comments repeatedly, with fans praising him for showing genuine class in both victory and defeat throughout the tournament. Many viewers specifically pointed to the contrast between Haaland's public warmth toward both Messi and Bellingham and the often guarded, media-trained answers typically given by athletes at this level, arguing that his willingness to speak candidly made him even easier to root for going forward. Clips and screenshots of his comments circulated widely, repackaged across countless highlight accounts and reaction channels, further cementing Haaland's status as one of the most talked-about personalities of the tournament, even without his own team still competing. Stepping back from these individual moments, this entire storyline reveals something meaningful about how Haaland has positioned himself throughout this World Cup. Rather than retreating from the spotlight after Norway's elimination, he continued engaging with the tournament in a way that felt authentic rather than performative, praising Messi's historic achievements, supporting his friend through Bellingham's difficult stretch, and openly rooting for a team with personal significance to him. That combination of genuine emotional investment and consistent good sportsmanship helped keep his name in the conversation deep into the tournament's final stages, proving that a player's impact on a World Cup does not always end the moment their own team is eliminated. At the end of the day, what made these moments resonate so strongly with American fans was their sincerity. Whether celebrating a legend like Messi reaching new historic heights or quietly lifting up a close friend after a heartbreaking result, Haaland approached every one of these moments with the same genuine warmth, and audiences noticed. As Argentina heads into the final to face Spain, and as Bellingham processes his own painful ending to this tournament, Haaland's steady presence throughout these final weeks has become one of the more unexpectedly heartwarming subplots of the entire competition. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you are subscribed so you catch our coverage of the final the moment it happens, because stories like this one are exactly why this World Cup has meant so much to so many people.